while. Right then and there, I understood what's hiding behind her unfocused stare from the moment she arrived. Fear. Pure, unadulterated fear. Jeez, that word. It's disturbing to see such marrying her usual upbeat countenance. The sight across the small distance separating us and kneel in front of her. She doesn't flinch when I do so. However, the way she appears to make herself smaller against the couch is telling enough.
Bella, this ain't just about your co-worker, is it? What is it really about? I'm all ears.
The sound of glass shattering rents through the air as soon as her hold it unhit loosens. Jesus, those phrasing. In the span of a few seconds, her breathing grows labored.
I don't know anymore.
She claps her hands over her ears, pressing it tightly against the sides of her head. Her voice grows weaker with each word, each plea coming out of her mouth.
Please don't leave me alone. I don't want to be alone right now. I can't shake it off. Everywhere's not safe and...
Alright, Isabella. Look at me.
My hands are firm on her shoulder when I pull her up to look at me. It takes every force of will to ignore the terror in her eyes in favor of taking control of the situation. Too close to similar.
Breathe. You're safe here.
Breathe.
Inhale, hold, exhale. Stay in the present. I'm here. No one's gonna hurt you. Do you want to talk about it?
The force with which she shakes her head is enough to enough reason to drop the topic altogether.
No more. Please, no more. I don't want to remember anymore.
Okay, no more talking. I won't ask anymore. Can I get you anything? Another glass of water? I think I have a tub of that pistachio ice cream you love so much.
Man, Zachary is a cool guy.
We're gonna have to clean this mess first. Will you be fine on your own for a little while?
She nods slightly before retreating us into herself again. No more words are exchanged after that, and I take that as my cue to start cleaning the shards littering the floor before either one of us gets hurt. The quiet hum of the AC is a pleasant distraction as I go over the menial task. More so than a rag draws a breath or my little feeble attempts to tell a quick story or two. But the latter does the trick. And soon enough, she has already drifted off by the time I return with the promised glass of water, her chest rising and falling in a steady rhythm, the strain on the shoulders gone wrong. What? Frankly, I've never seen her this still. She mumbles something I don't quite catch when I carry her to the empty bed and hugs herself tighter against the mess of blankets. In spite of the fact that she appears relaxed, the smile frown on her face hasn't quite disappeared. Whatever happened to her won't be leaving her anytime soon. Nope, it's not gonna leave her at all. But for her sake, I hope it won't stay long with her. Because no matter what promises I've made, this is a kind of fear no person could shield her from. That's true, I should know. There are still questions left to be answered. But the late hour, coupled with the sudden exhaustion, made my whole couch a more comfortable bed than it typically is. Darkness immediately welcomes me as soon as my head hits my makeshift pillow. I can only wish that dreams would keep at a distance for now, for both of us. First few notes, while muffled, are enough to wake me. In the end, it became one of those nights when sleep passes like a blink and is plagued with vague, fuzzy thoughts. I lift a hand to rub away the drowsiness from my eyes, although it does little to relieve the gritty, burning sensation from my eyelids. Outside, the sun has yet to peek over the horizon, but night has already given way to the cold morning light, washing everything in subtle grey hues. At this hour, the entire city remains unstirring. Ordinarily, waking up before my own alarm means abusing the snooze button. twice or thrice just to catch those precious few extra minutes of sleep. I think everyone does that, right? When you wake up before your alarm, you always try to sleep a little more. The persistent reading makes it impossible now.
This better be good.
Groggily, I scrambled for the bag sitting at the foot of the bed. Ash, nice. The ringing still has not stopped, even as I fish the phone out, and Ashton's name flashes brightly on the screen when I turn it on. Must be pretty urgent if he has not dropped the call yet.
Took you long enough, Z-Man.
Z-Man.
Ashton, it's 6 in the morning.
6 in the
Sun
morning?
hasn't even risen. Hell, my brain ain't even awake yet. Stop calling me Z-Man.
When does this guy wake up then?
It's 20 past 6, Zach.
Are you for real, Ash?
You want to talk? Give me back my 5 extra minutes, Ash. I want my sleep.
Hey, don't make fun of me. I can be a more person too if I want to.
What's this all really about? You don't usually make calls around this hour. Is the world ending today?
Sorry about that. Becca rang me up a few minutes ago looking for Isabella. Said she didn't show up in her own apartment last night. We both tried calling, but her phone seems to be off. Do you have any idea where...
I should have known you two would come looking for her first thing in the morning.
Not a laughing matter, Zach. You can't really let your guard down with everything that's happened here recently. You've heard about the Cooper woman from the news. Everyone in the precinct has been restless ever since the incident the other day.
Cooper, he's talking about Rose, the girl that died.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Listen, Ash, about Bella.
I let my voice trail off, unsure of how to go about recounting last night. If I should even say anything to him. He might be a close friend, but at the end of the day, whatever's bothering her ain't mine to speak of in the first place. In the bed, Isabella remains as still as when I transferred her the night before. Sometimes during her sleep, she pulls up a blanket over herself and tucked it into it comfortably. Like this, it's easy to forget the horror in her eyes, or how much her hands and lips trembled. Save for her firm grip on the edge of the covers, she appears nearly as normal as she would any other day. Almost.
I'm not really sure how to go about this while being...
Zach, what about her?
Something, the worry, the concern must have surfaced in my tone because his tone shifts then. Carefully, as if he's preparing for the worst.
Look, you don't have to worry about her. She's with me right now. Since last night, in fact.
Oh, why didn't you just say so earlier?
She kinda knocked in the middle of the night. I couldn't possibly wake you two over that. And with how things are when she arrived, I thought it'd be best if I let her rest first. I just wasn't expecting people would be looking for her before the rooster even crows.
You could have at least called her something. Becca's beside herself with worry when she found out.
Called after midnight? What?
You know how much she frets about the smallest stuff.
I know. I'm sorry. That was a lapse on my part. And I just didn't think, okay, you know what? Rebecca's worries ain't completely baseless. Isabella hasn't been her usual self since the movie. Maybe even before that.
Yeah, before that.
I don't know if I should be opening my mouth about this, but Bella didn't outright say I shouldn't, so...
So something's wrong then?
I'm not quite sure, to be completely honest. I couldn't get the story out of her.
Really? I thought you'd have learned something from me by now.
That's not it. Ash, when she appeared at my doorstep last night, she was shaking, and when I tried to ask her about it, she just panicked. Had this frightened look on her face. I'd be surprised if this was the first time I've seen it, but it ain't. Dude, the first time, she was screaming.
First time? When was this? You weren't talking about the thing in the movie house, are you? Because that was just us fooling around. Granted, I think I went overboard with the joke, but...
No, it happened the day after. When she invited us to lunch, you weren't there. We were walking one second, and then the next, she's crying out.
I don't remember that.
I'll be straight with you. That scared me shitless.
Maybe he's talking about a past memory that's not in the game. It bothered him if the way he falls silent after his telling. But whatever his opinion, he stays absent from his voice when he speaks again. He's always been good with that, hiding what he thinks.
Did she say anything else?
Nothing. Won't tell me anything aside from a few vague words. I didn't want to push it.
Oh, by the way, Ashtray is a investigator for the police.
Where is she? Is she still sleeping?
Right here with me, still sleeping. Should I wake her up or something? Let her know you guys are looking for her?
No need. Let her rest. I'll drop by in a few.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Today? Don't you have work at this time? I mean, I can drop her off home myself before meeting my client later.
Look who's talking.
My schedule's flexible, Ash. Last time I checked, you're the one who didn't have that luxury. How on earth do you think I'm able to tag along when you need me?
It's not completely out of the way.
They live on the other side of the town from you, Ash. Your definition of out of the way is a little screwed up, you know.
It's fine. I have some things I need to do anyway. I'll call you back. I've got to let Becca know that Scared Cat's fine.
He drops the call before I can even get a word, and for several minutes after, I find myself simply listening as the rest of Luxborn rouses. Increasing sound of passing traffic, the bustle of the nearby shops preparing for the day, and the growing clamor of the people while they go about their mourning. Not the most soothing sounds to hear following a troubled night, but the routine puts me at ease nevertheless. What's comforting, what's safe, what I'm used to. Nearby, Isabella shifts but doesn't wake, blissfully unaware as the city slowly stirs itself back to life. Was her night as restless as the one I had? Were her dreams as lucid? It kinda was worst. In hushed moments like this, I envy her. Unreasonable, probably a little unfair, to say such in light of last night. If only forgetting is as easy as breathing. A small yawn escapes me when I rise from the couch to stretch. Luckily, the short conversation with Ash has effectively driven away any will to go back to bed. I still have a day to get through despite the proverbial ghosts hanging around. The orange bottle sitting at the edge of my table is reassuring against my palm the instant I pick it up. The sterile odor of the capsules equally so. Yet the way they carry is something I've never gotten used to. Years ago, I'd spend minutes, heck, even hours staring at a single pill prayer, taking one. So he has a sickness? Now it's just rooting. A way to stave off the unwanted nightly visits. Oh! He has some sort of hallucinations when he dreams? So he has to take pills? I'm not sure. Anxiety, maybe? Although, I don't think Dr. Navarro will be quite pleased if he ever finds out I'm relying on them again. What? I do owe him a visit regardless, especially after missing our appointments on purpose and ignoring his calls for weeks. Another side comes out tired and weary, and then I pop the tablet into my mouth.
Zach? What time is it?
Whoops. The bottle in my hand hits the table with more force than necessary. As much as I trust my friends, there are some things I'd rather keep to myself. Oh, so she doesn't know.
Morning, Bella. Did you sleep well?
She answered the questions with a long drawn-out yawn, one reminiscence of a child. A chuckle manages to come out of my mouth at this sight. In this matter, it's easy to mistake her for someone too young for responsibilities, inexperienced and immature, even. Easy to forget she was thrust into the hole of another earlier than her own dreams can afford, to overlook how surprisingly observant she can be at times. Maybe not on the same level Ash exercises for his investigations, or Rebecca needs for her own work. But it's certainly enough to deftly put what she sees around her on canvas. And if the way her eyes flickers to the table in my hand says something, it is that I won't be able to avoid the questions this time.
Only a little. I don't remember how I I ended up on the bed, though.
Ma doing?